What's an unwritten rule in your household that would seem bizarre to outsiders? In my house, nobody cried alone, ever. My dad made this rule when my older brother Jake came home from school with a black eye and tried to hide in the bathroom to cry. Dad just sat outside the door and said, "You can cry, but not by yourself." I was 8 and thought it was the weirdest thing. Like, why couldn't I just go to my room and be sad? If I got a bad grade or some kid at school was mean to me, I'd try to sneak off to cry. But someone always showed up. Mom, Dad, or Jake would just sit down next to me. They wouldn't say anything. They'd just be there. At first, it felt annoying. I remember thinking, can't I just be sad alone for 5 minutes? But then something weird happened. It actually helped. Like, way more than I expected. The rule became automatic in our house. If you saw someone tearing up, you didn't ask questions or try to fix it. You just joined them. Even when my friends came over, they learned fast. One time, my friend Chloe was crying over some drama with this boy she liked during a sleepover. Without even thinking, I sat down next to her on my bedroom floor. I didn't say anything, just handed her some tissues and sat there. Later, she told me it was the nicest thing anyone had ever done for her. Most people either ignored her when she cried or tried to give her advice she didn't want. She said just having someone sit with her made her feel less alone. Things got more intense when Mom got diagnosed with cancer. I was in 6th grade and didn't really understand what that meant, but I knew it was bad from how quiet everyone got. The crying rule became even more important then. I remember one night I came downstairs to get water and found Dad crying at the kitchen table. He was just sitting there with his head in his hands, trying to be quiet. I grabbed a spoon and the jar of peanut butter from the counter and sat down next to him. I handed him a spoonful and he looked up at me with red eyes and smiled a little. "Thanks, kiddo," he said. "You remembered the rule." We sat there eating peanut butter straight from the jar until he stopped crying. He never told me what was wrong, but I knew it was about Mom. The next morning he seemed better. Like sharing that moment helped him handle whatever he was dealing with. When Mom started chemo, she cried a lot, but we all took turns sitting with her. Sometimes all 4 of us would pile onto her bed and just be there while she let it out. Jake would bring his homework, Dad would read the newspaper, I'd play games on my phone. We weren't trying to cheer her up or make her stop. We were just making sure she wasn't alone. The hardest part was when Jake left for college. He called one night during his first week, clearly crying. I could hear it in his voice even though he was trying to hide it. Dad put the phone on speaker and we all sat around it while Jake talked about feeling homesick and overwhelmed. Even through the phone, we followed the rule. Now I'm in college too, and I still do it without thinking. My roommate Emma had a total breakdown last month over failing a test. She was sobbing on her bed, and I just sat down on the floor next to her. I didn't try to tell her it would be okay or that one test didn't matter. I just sat there. After about 20 minutes, she stopped crying and looked at me. "Why are you just sitting there?" she asked. I shrugged. "It's just what we do in my family. Nobody cries alone." She stared at me for a second, then started crying again. But this time it was different. She told me later that she'd never had someone just be with her when she was upset. Her family always tried to fix everything or told her to stop being dramatic. She said having me just sit there made her feel like it was okay to be sad. My friends think it's weird at first, but they get used to it.